Welcome back to JS Urban Adventures, everybody. Today, I'll be your tour guide through this amazing winter wonderland known as City Creek Canyon. Hope you guys had an awesome Thanksgiving. Hope you have an amazing Christmas. It's December 2nd right now, and this is how I'm gonna kick off my winter. Let's go camping in the snow. I'm gonna go chill with my snowman friend here. Can we get some happy Christmas beats playing up in this thing? Roll that intro. All right, so before we even begin, I'm gonna go over a few things with you guys. It might be a little shaky because I don't have the Osmo hooked up. I'm only about a quarter of the way into where I need to go into. So I've got a lot more walking to do. I'm gonna tell you where I screwed up first. I wore way too many layers. I'm from Florida. I don't do good in cold, but when you're wearing a 65-pound bag, I would say 65 is about right for me right now on this bag. When you have 65 pounds on your back and you're hiking uphill and the sun's out, it don't matter how cold it is, you're gonna sweat. And look at what I brought, hold up. So I got this big old jacket. I brought this specifically because it's waterproof. I'm gonna be able to work in the, cut trees and stuff. Snow can fall on me in this and I'll be okay. Then I brought this, which I wasn't wearing this morning, but I thought, you know, maybe at night if it gets cold and I need to go out of the tent, I have an extra one. But I'm also wearing a hoodie, Under Armour, and I know I'm wearing jeans. I know I need to have some waterproof pants. I've even told people that in the comments, ask me what they need to do when it's cold. You need some good waterproof pants, but I don't have any, so I'm gonna do the best with what I got. I got some jeans, I got sweatpants underneath the jeans, which the first bathroom that I get to, because this trail has bathrooms going up it, the first bathroom I get to, I'm taking these sweatpants off because, again, it's too much. I might even end up taking this hoodie off and just having the Under Armour, and then the Under Armour pants, and then the jean pants. Now that I've been sitting still for a minute, I'm starting to get chilly again, but I know once I start hiking, it's going to get cold. My backpack is so heavy because I brought everything. This isn't the coldest I've slept outside in. I was homeless, and if you watch my Homeless for the Holidays videos, you can see me doing urban camping with bivy sacks, tents, sleeping bags, all throughout the city. But those places are generally dry spots where you set up your shop. And also when I was carrying the tent and all that, I didn't always have the recording gear. I got recording gear with me, and I brought a lot of food because I figure if I'm hiking up this far in the cold, I get out there, I'm gonna stay for a while. If I'm taking this much weight, I'm taking the tent, the sleeping bag liner, the cooker in case I can't start a good fire, which I think I'll be able to. It's not like the snow's coming down. I just have to cut a dead tree and then find some good tinder to start it with. But another thing I did wrong, well, this isn't something I did wrong, it's something, I don't have any gloves, and so I brought wool socks to put on my hands because they're wool, they're warm, and it'll be like mittens when my hands are cold. Right now my hands are fine, and when I'm working I'm sure my hands will be fine, but maybe at night when the temperature drops, we're up in the mountains and it gets cold, my hands are cold, I got some wool socks I can throw on them, and that's the best we can do with that. What else? Well, I'll show you everything I brought once I get up in the mountain, but I need to get hiking, and hopefully we'll be out here. Oh yeah, the food. I'll show you the food too. I got a lot of food. I got a lot of meat, and should be able to kick it out here for at least 2 nights, tonight and tomorrow night, and then, you know, today, tomorrow, and some of the next day. So it'll be like a 3-day, 2-night trip. I might even stay a 3rd night, we'll see. But for now, I gotta get hiking. Peace. Trail's not closed, people are on it. Also forgot to mention the boots. Got some good North Face winter boots. These things are solid. So another problem I might have though is getting to my spot, my normal spot. If you've seen any of my other Let's Go Camping videos, you know I have to cross a river and climb a pretty steep incline about 20-25 feet up. And I don't know if I can climb. The river looks low. Crossing the river with these shoes should be okay. I got another pair of socks for my feet, not my hands, but for my feet in case these ones get wet. And I could put my shoes over the fire to dry them out if they get wet. But I just don't know if I'm gonna be able to climb that incline when it's snowy and wet. So we're gonna see. I've got a lot of hiking to do, and I'll talk to you guys soon. All right, guys, as you can see, the trail about 2 miles after the water treatment plant, which is about 3.5-4 miles in. The road, this all usually stays, is actually, there's road under here. But I guess for the winter, they only plow till right after the water treatment plant, and then they plowed all the snow in the middle of the path to make like a barricade. But of course, that's not gonna stop me. So I climbed the barricade, and now I've been on snow for, man, it feels like I've been walking 10 miles. This pack is so heavy. I've never went camping with this heavy of a pack, and it's rough. It's killing me. We have a path to walk on, and it looks pretty. Well, that's my footprint, but it looks like these footprints are pretty old. And I'm thinking nobody's driving back here. I don't even need to go all the way to my normal spot, but I might have to camp on the other side, this side of the river. Instead of crossing the river and climbing the wall, I might just go on this side of the river where my plants were growing and hang out there, because I don't know if I'll be able to climb that incline. But we're gonna see. We're almost there. Almost. Oh, this is rough. All right, guys, I made an executive decision because I still have quite a bit of hiking to go, and it's getting cold because the sun is behind the clouds, and it's gonna get dark early here. It's gonna get dark like 5:30, 6 o'clock. So I've decided to stop at this campsite, which is campsite number 20. And basically, I mean, it's the same as if I was just in the woods. I have 2 picnic tables and a grill thing instead of a fire pit, which I will use that, but I will start a bushcrafting fire with it. But I'm gonna set up my tent right over here underneath these spruce trees. And I don't have a good sleeping pad, so I'm going to find some spruce boughs to put underneath my tent to raise me up off the ground a little bit. The ground's very wet over here. There's actually a little bit of a pond right there from all the melting snow. But just gonna clear away this snow, set up my tent, and then for tonight, I'll just be cooking dinner in that thing and then staying in my tent to stay warm. If it gets cold in my tent, I can turn on my propane cooker. I can just let my my little propane cooker run in the tent for a couple minutes, and it gets nice and toasty in there. I don't need to have a fire right outside of the tent, and I don't need to have a fire going all night. So I'm just gonna use this little grill thing to cook up some food in. It's out here, why not? I'd rather be at my spot because I have my own little fire pit that I made, and instead of picnic tables, I have rocks to sit on, but that's all right. No cars are gonna be coming up here, so I should be fine on that count. And hopefully if any people walk by, they just don't bother me. I'll kick it here for tonight, and then tomorrow maybe I'll hike in a little farther and stay. Maybe I can get to my spot tomorrow. We'll see. But for now, let me get this tent set up. Then I gotta collect some wood. Seem to have a sign on there saying not to use it. Interesting, why is it here if you're not supposed to use it? But I think that's just for, like, for fire season. Which doesn't make sense why it's there now. I don't know. It says propane burners are okay, but That ain't fun. I want to make a fire. So this is the... I think we're going to be okay because the road's closed. I don't think any of the service vehicles will be coming back here. I'm not killing any animals, so I don't have to worry about a game warden. And I don't think there's a risk of fire right now. It's pretty damp around here.
Alright guys, tent's up. Didn't take very long. The grill's kind of cleaned out. So
I'm gonna go inside the tent for a minute, warm up, and plan what I'm gonna do next. I think I gotta go get some wood, and I gotta get some spruce boughs under this for when I sleep so I don't get too cold. And yeah, this looks good. As long as I don't get in trouble with somebody walking on the path, we should be fine for tonight.
let's check out the tent.
Down in here, it's super cold.
Alright, so you've seen me in here before. If you ever seen the Homeless for the Holidays videos, I need to get my feet out so the snow doesn't get in. But I'm gonna put down my sleeping pad, and I gotta make this warm first. Maybe I'm gonna make up a little treat with my stove so that I can eat something real quick. I'm hungry. That hike was rough, and yeah, I just gotta keep it dry in here, and I'm gonna have to get up off the ground a little bit because this ground is cold and I don't have a good sleeping pad. So all right, I'll be back to figure out if I'm gonna eat something. Welcome to mi casa. Here's the food. Now I know you're gonna be like, whoa, he brought a lot of food. Yeah, I didn't know how long I was gonna be out here, but now that I'm out here, it's gonna be tough to make it 2 nights. For real, for real. It's cold out here. I put the tent up, sat down on the ground to chill and, you know, smoke and hang out for a second just after hiking. And I quickly realized that the ground was way too cold. Way too cold, like scary cold. Like I couldn't get warm because my butt and my legs were so cold from sitting on the ground. So then I opened the zipper and I found out that it's already pretty much dark outside. And like it wasn't that dark a little while ago, but it was still pretty dark. And so I decided I gotta get some spruce boughs and try to get some firewood, but there's no dry wood out there. I would really need time to look, and I don't have time today. So I was like, the ground is cold, my sleeping pad doesn't inflate, so I need to get up off that ground. So I went out and I cut down 2 pine trees. I was gonna record right before I left and say what I was doing, but my phone was dead, so now my phone's on the charger. But I chopped down 2 trees real quick, cut the boughs off them, and now you can't really tell, but it's much better. I'm raised up off the ground. There's a lot of spruce boughs under here. I didn't take the time to make sure, you know, they were all nice and tucked in and stuff. I just kicked them under there. I put everything on this side of the tent and lifted up the back half and just stuffed a bunch of spruce boughs, and it's actually amazing. I feel fine sitting up here now, and I know it'll be okay when I lay down on it. If it's okay when I'm sitting on it, it'll be great once I'm laying down on it. So the plan was to eat steak the first night, top sirloin, but this thing is frozen because, like an idiot, I put it in the freezer when I bought it last night, even though I knew it was going to be cold out today, so it didn't need to be frozen. But I got some sausages. These are softening up. So what I think I'm going to do tonight, since I couldn't get any firewood, I got the spruce boughs under my gloves were my socks, and they got wet pretty quick. Felt like my hands were getting frostbite, and I was like, man, I can't take this cold. So I just came in the tent. I'm going to use the propane cooker, cook up 3 of these, and then I'll have some for breakfast. I got tuna. I got ramen. I was thinking about this being like a 3-day trip, guys, so it may only be a 2-night trip. It may only be a 1-night trip. We'll see tomorrow. But mashed potatoes, I got some wraps, I got some Pop-Tarts. I got this vegetarian Mendrus lentils. I don't know. It looks good. 3 packs of ramens. I was thinking about, 3 nights. So I got 3 packs of ramens, 3 Pop-Tarts, 2 meats plus some tuna. That's 3 meats. Not a lot of fruit. I had 2 apples. I ate 1 already. And I got a can of peaches. And what I'm going to do tonight... Oh, and there's a can of chili here somewhere. A can of chili. So what I'm going to do tonight is cook up 3 of these. Cook this up. Throw it on these here corn tortillas right here. And it's going to be amazing. And yeah, the door's open right now and I feel okay. It's just being up off this ground, man. It makes so much difference. And I changed my socks because my feet been sweating in these all day. So, taking a look outside. Tomorrow, I'll have all day to find some wood and we can find a new spot. Also, find a new spot, find some wood so that we can cook that steak tomorrow. And, yeah, trip's going pretty good. Other than the almost getting frostbite on my hands. And not being able to cook the steak on the first night like I planned. But at least we got a tent. Look at this. I got like a little house right here. Sleeping bag liner. Alright. I'll show you when the food's done. Chef Boyard Josh is in the kitchen. Our chili's gonna be ready in a second. Got some 2 Italian sausages over there. Some Frank's Red Hot. I couldn't afford A1, so I just bought Frank's Red Hot. And some wraps. And an apple. That's my dinner. Got these earmuffs on my ears, so it's hard to hear anything. But got my knife. Should have a little fork or something in here. I'm gonna have to go tie this food up because even though it's winter and I'm hoping they're hibernating, I worry about bears out here. I had a friend who camps out here and he moved away, but he would bring up a lot of supplies and he was working on building a long-term shelter out here, just like I did in the other spot. But he would leave supplies like food, canned food and stuff. And he said one day after they were gone for a couple days, they came back and the tarp that they had set up was all ripped down. All the food that they had hidden under a log was found and the bag was ripped apart and opened up, and all the canned goods and everything, look at that. All the canned goods and everything were smashed and scattered, and the cans were torn open and broken open, and it's craziness. So, and he said it was definitely bear. Okay. Don't let that spill. Whew. That was close. All right. So I'm worried about bears. I don't want a bear coming up in the tent while I'm sleeping. Ugh. So I'm gonna have to bag all this food up, throw it up in a tree tonight. Probably like 50 feet, at least 50, 100 feet from the camp. But for now, feels good. Feels good. Life is good. This is gonna be runny. That's all right. Still a little pink in the middle. That's all right. I should eat over this pan, so when it runs, I have a bigger target for my drips to hit. Dude, I love being out here in nature.
And even though it's freezing cold, I think I'll be alright. Tomorrow, I gotta find some wood so I can make a fire to cook my steak. For real, for real. And I don't know, I probably will need to get out of this spot because I think people will be walking the trail in the daytime. I don't need anybody snitching on me. But yeah, I'm gonna eat my food. Throw this up in a tree somewhere. Oh no, is my rope here? I have some rope. Uh-oh. Huh. I think my rope is at my other camping spot. On my extra paracord and stuff. That could be a problem. Oh, I have a steak and open meat. I can't be sleeping with that in here. For sure. But I don't know, would a bear mess with a big bright green tent? I need to at least hide it somewhere. I don't know how active the animals are going to be in the middle of winter, but I don't know. I'll get the sleeping bag out, get ready for bed, and then I'll sit here and do some silent prayer. Yeah. See you in the morning. Alright guys, it's morning. I made it through the night fine. It wasn't too bad actually. The spruce boughs definitely saved me from freezing because I could still feel some cold spots, you know, where the heaviest spots. I slept on my side, you know, on my hip. If I had my heels digging into the ground over here, my heels would get cold. So it wasn't a big deal. I was all right. At first I tried getting in the sleeping bag with both these big jackets on, and it was like I was colder. I couldn't get comfortable. I was cold. I felt all constricted because I'm in the sleeping bag with the liner and the sleeping bag, the jacket, this jacket, a hoodie, and I couldn't get comfortable in that. So I took both these jackets off, and I had already taken my jeans off, so it was just Under Armour and sweats. So Under Armour, and then a hoodie and some sweatpants, and wool socks that were dry. And then it got better. I actually felt warmer with less clothes on in my sleeping bag. Not exactly sure why that is, but it worked. I don't know about. I might be chickening out on doing another night because a couple reasons. One, today's Tuesday. Saturday, I went snow sledding for the first time in my life at Lindsay Gardens. So I probably sledded down like 7 runs, and each time you got to walk back up the hill. And I didn't have gloves, so I was on this little short thing with like rope handles, and so you got to sit on it and get down low. And I've never sledded, like I've ridden, you know, like a trash can lid down a little hill before, but just a little bump, you know, or something at the apartments or here or there. But I've never actually went with a sled to a sledding spot with big, nice hills. And the first one I did, the first run that I did on this thing, I picked the steepest, biggest hill in the park. And unfortunately, there's a sidewalk at the bottom with snow over the sidewalk. So you're supposed to go down this really steep, really straight hill. And then when you get to the bottom, you hit the sidewalk and you just shoot over it into the snow-covered baseball field. It's at a baseball field, so you go down into a baseball field. But the only problem, the danger zone, is that sidewalk. And of course, this is my first time on this little short sled, and I didn't know how to ride it. So I put my feet up on it, and probably about 3/4 of the way down this super fast, super steep hill, I turned around backwards, and then I couldn't ride backwards for very long, so I bailed. I bailed right before the sidewalk, rolled, and sprawled out on the sidewalk. Plap, just smacked right into the sidewalk. So basically the worst thing that could happen happened. And I think when I rolled, the first roll that I took, I think I bruised my ribs because, yeah, like right here, when I push, it feels like it's bruised. And when I breathe, it hurts when I inhale. And it's been like that for like 4 days, ever since after I went skiing. Now, I took a bunch of other falls too, but I pretty quickly learned that the trick is you got to have your legs hanging off over the front, and you got to use your legs to keep you from turning around backwards, because this thing was real short. I'm getting too old for this stuff, man. I'm 32 years old. I don't know why I'm doing that. But why was I telling that story? Oh, my ribs hurt. I don't have gloves. I don't know if I'm gonna make it another night out here. I'm gonna hang out. It's about almost 10 o'clock now. I'm gonna hang out till noon or 1. Walk around a little bit, show you guys around outside. See, without gloves, menial tasks are so hard. Like, if I go try to chop down some firewood and collect some tinder, I could get frostbite, because I gotta be digging in the snow and grabbing wet trees and branches, and my hand, I'm not made for cold. I'm not made for cold, I know that. And things like cleaning out the pot and the pan so I can make dinner tonight in the river. How am I gonna do that with no sort of hand protection? Like, my hands are gonna freeze out there. And so I don't know. I still got a ton of food though. I mean, at least if I take the steak home, then I can eat it with A1 at home. But the worst part about coming out here was the hike with so much weight on my back. And I don't want to hike out. I just hiked out here yesterday. I don't want to hike out this early. That's why I wanted to stay longer, so I didn't have to do the hike again so soon. And I wanted to make sure all the food was gone to get rid of all that weight. Now I'm thinking, I don't know, man. It's a tough choice. And what happens if I run out of fuel tonight while I'm cooking dinner? How am I going to cook dinner with a dirty pan? I got to go out there and clean it. I guess I could just clean it with snow, but I don't have gloves, you know? I think I came too prepared by bringing too much food, but I came ill prepared by not having gloves and not having a working sleeping pad. So it's a learning experience. Maybe I was too ambitious by wanting to do, 2 nights and 3 days on my first snow winter solo camping trip. I'm already happy that I made it out here and that I slept through the night. And I'm gonna have to think about it. But it's likely that I'm just gonna be taking off at like 1 o'clock today, because it's just cold. It's cold, guys. It's cold. I'm gonna finish these peaches. You know I love these peaches. Every camping trip I bring a can of peaches. Alright, I made it out of the tent finally. No, it hasn't been that long. It's cold. It's cold. It's cold. The sun isn't up in the mountains. The sun is takes longer to get up over you. So, because of all these trees and just the mountains right there, the sun's coming from over there. Rises in the east, so that's east. Yeah, I knew that. That's west. Okay. So, the mountains, there's a mountain right there and a lot of big, tall spruce trees. So, it's like 10, and it's still cold. It's gonna be chilly until about noon or 1, so I want to stay, but I don't think I'm gonna. I think I'm gonna hike out today. I'm a wimp. We do got some spruce here with some trees so I could collect sap. Martin, I did not do what you told me to do. I totally forgot to put cotton balls with Vaseline on them into my axe handle, because that is a really good idea, and I'm gonna do it. I just forgot. But here's what I did last night. First I cleared out all the snow, of course, and then these are my spruce boughs. And it really wasn't a lot because I did it quick. I was cold, and it wasn't great for my back. At first I was laying with my head at that end and my feet at this end. I had to flip around after laying there for about 45 minutes and not being able to sleep because my head was lower than my feet. But these are my dirty dishes. So I never used this grill thing. They got the sign on it. At least I didn't break any rules tonight. Unless you count cutting down a little tree, breaking a rule. But I'll show you where I got my spruce boughs. You can see my footprint. Because this is the tree that I dragged. These lines in the snow here is the tree that I cut down and dragged over there. But got the river right here. I was actually thinking about crossing the river right there, over to there, and then camping over on that side, just so it would be a little farther from the camp. But I was pretty safe in my assumption that nobody was going to come by, because nobody's coming out here. It's freezing, and I'm pretty high up in the mountain, and the trail is not plowed off. So here's what I did. This tree that's fallen right here had this log and this thing on top of it, so I had to flip them off of it, which was very cold on my hands. And then I just cut from right there, which my axe went through that real quick. Cut through that because the lower branches, I've noticed in the winter, the lower branches tend to die. See on this tree, the lower ones, they're real dead and pokey, and so I wanted the green ones from up top for more insulation. Since this thing was already fallen, I just cut it right there, which was like it went to about here, just the top half of it. And then I cut a few branches off some other ones over there. I cut a few of those lower branches off that I could reach with my axe. But then I saw, where was it? Oh, it was right here. There was a spruce here, not quite as big as those ones. Like not quite as big as that one and that one, but close. Well, no, not even close. It was a lot smaller than those. It was probably about that tall. So, and it was right there. Thin trunk, kind of angled, but it had a lot of boughs on it. So I chopped that down and I dragged it all the way over there. I'm just gonna walk around, try to warm up a little bit till the sun comes up, and then I gotta clean out my dishes somehow. Just with the snow, I guess. I got some hand warmers. And I had planned on making another video out here, a tent review on my Lux Tempo tent that I'm using, but I knew I'd forget something. I forgot my little cheat sheet. You're gonna be like, well, you forgot gloves, you forgot a bunch of, no, I didn't forget gloves. I didn't have any gloves. But, and I brought a full-size can opener too, but that's not because I forgot my P38. It's because I lost my P38. Couldn't find it. So I grabbed a big old can opener. There's some more weight I didn't need. But, what was I just saying? Oh yeah, I was gonna do a tent review. I had my little cheat sheet that I make that has all the info on it and all the weight and the stats and all that. And I left it sitting on the back table at the house. And so since I can't do that out here, after I hike back, I might just do that, like, you know, down by the Capitol building. I know there's a camp not too far up there that has a toilet, so I'm gonna make a little B-roll while I go and use that toilet. Maybe have a little B-roll of me packing up the tent later, and then once I'm hiking out of here, I'll say peace. Check it out. That's a deer track in a person's track. Deers are smart enough to follow the path too when they can. I like the snow because you can see all the tracks. There's another one. This little two-toed thing is a deer. And I'm gonna be getting out of here. I won't name the video anything like 2-night bushcrafting trip, or I won't name the video anything clickbaity. Basically, I'll name the video failed 2-night trip becomes a 1-night trip. And this isn't really a bushcrafting trip, it's more like a backpacking trip. But the reason I'm packing it up is because it's very cold. And I should have brought less weight and just prepared for 1 night for my first cold camping trip. Focus more on learning about the gear that I needed. I definitely need gloves because my hands are just always freezing, and I can't get firewood to start a fire. 2 reasons. 1, because I'm right on the side of the trail, and even though the road's not plowed, people walk and ride bikes down here and stuff. There's actually a bike sitting behind the bathroom at the next campsite down. I don't know if somebody left it or what. It's a nice bike. But the old me would have been like, mine. But I got all my stuff packed up, and I brought way too much food. Like, at least now I know how much food I would need for a 3-day trip, because I got plenty of food still, which sucks. I have to hike it out now. But yeah, if I'm bringing the tent, I need gloves and waterproof pants, because my pants, the bottom stays wet, and I take my shoes off when I go in the tent, and since my feet are sweating into my socks, they're wet, and it's like this won't get warm, and it's gonna be colder tomorrow. It's gonna be colder tonight, and I'm just calling it. I hope you guys enjoyed the video, and I hope you subscribe to the channel. I hope you hit the thumbs up, all that good stuff. See, I'm doing this gloveless. It sucks. And yeah, on my way out, I'll probably make a short video talking about methadone treatment, like I said, because I got to do that. A lot of people have been asking me about it. Ugh. My chest hurts from that. My ribs. Oh yeah, the camera stuff's in there. So I gotta take the Osmo down and say goodbye to you guys. And yeah, oh yeah, check out the Patreon too. This has been JS Urban Adventures. Let's go camping in the snow.